Hello, people. It's your boy Usmaan back again. Manchester United against Brighton at OT tomorrow. As always, make sure you slap a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. Yeah, it's your boy, man. I'm back. Obviously, I had a few days off, had a few days to reflect more than anything. I had a break on the international break. Well, international break. I had time off. Because to be quite frankly honest with you guys, I was absolutely exhausted. I was like, even now, I'm like, oh my God, can I do this? Can I do this? Can I still make the content? Am I still motivated? Am I still feeling it, man? I just don't know, to be honest. Like, I put out a tweet yesterday. If you haven't already, obviously follow me on Twitter. Cheeky plug, Usmaan Talks United. Yeah, man, I don't know, man. I'm just feeling a bit low at the moment, like mentally, just exhausted. Working full time, coming back, having to do all the guest stuff, like, getting people on, clipping, like social media. It's a lot, innit? It's a lot for one person. And I think I just hit a wall mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever you want to call it, man. I just hit a bit of a block. So, yeah, it's interesting. I don't think I'm going to be doing the watch along tomorrow because I'm on radio at the time of kickoff. So I don't think I could do the watch on, which is a bit disappointing, but I have got all the commitments. I've got my radio show every week, seven is it 8 till 9? 8, I don't know why I'm asking you guys like you don't know. But yeah, 8 to 9 every Sunday I've got a radio podcast. Just a local radio station in Sheffield. So I've not been on for a couple of weeks on that as well. So I'd really need to turn up. So no watch along. But I want to do this video on my own, as you can imagine. I'm normally with Jerry and Jerry, to be fair, I don't know if you watch this, bro, but shout out to you, man. Like, you're always supporting yourself and Kojo, man. You guys literally, bro, you two guys, man, honestly, always make yourself available to help me with the content. And honest to God, I don't know how to do that, you guys. But look, Jerry said he wanted to be here. I haven't even told him I'm coming live, to be fair. I kind of want to do it on my own because I just want to talk first and foremost. It is the Man United v Brighton preview, so don't worry. I will, of course, talk about that. But I just kind of want to just explain, really, because, like, it's quite evident that I'm not myself in terms of my, high energy. And you guys know what I'm like, and I don't need to explain for you guys. Like, yeah, man, it's difficult at the moment. It's difficult to find motivation. And just keep going, really, to be honest. It's always been a hobby for me. It's always been a passion. And a part of that, I wouldn't say I don't have the passion for it, but, that hunger to make videos, it's just become draining of late. And it's just one of them things, like, yeah, I don't know. I'm smiling, but deep down, I'm like, I'm struggling. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really struggling. Jerry said, send me the link. Jerry, I'm just gonna do the podcast. I'm gonna do it on my own, man. I appreciate you. Obviously, I want to keep it short and sweet today because, like, I was just chilling with my sister and stuff. I just kind of like taking a step back. I was just sitting outside with my sister and my mom, like, just taking a step back from this podcast, journey, like the whole, like, my football club stuff as well. It's been draining. I'm sure most Man United fans in here can relate to following this club. I just think the whole Glazer situation has kind of just tipped me over the edge, and I just don't know what. I just don't know why I'm even bothering anymore because, like, I just can't be arsed with this club anymore. I think that is a part of it as well, man. Like, I really can't be bothered. Like, this club is killing me, man. Not like not like that. Like, I'm not like feeling any type of way like that. So don't think it's like that. But in terms of, like, it's difficult to make content on Manchester United at the moment, man, because, like, it's just it's not a, don't really use the word depressing, but they're so negative. Like, it's so toxic. Like Twitter, for example, right? Obviously, if you guys are on Twitter, you'll know yourself. In particular, football Twitter, you can put a tweet out, right? Just whatever, saying your opinion, and you just get so much abuse, right? And I ignore most of it because I've got my notifications turned off, so they're talking to themselves half the time. But it's when you're in that every single day, it starts to, like, just grate on you. Like, it's like so, like, heavy. Like, every single day, negativity on social media, man. It's like, especially Twitter, man. Like, it's just fake. Like, there's so much fakeness on Twitter, man. Like, just, bro, I'm not getting paid to do this. This is a hobby. This has always been a hobby. I met some fantastic people. As I already shouted out Jerry, you know, and Kojo and other guys as well, man. Benji as well, you know, who's in Ghana at the moment. So shout out to you, brother. Like, hopefully you're good. Like Ali, who doesn't come on the podcast, but he's like an older brother to me that I've met through this platform. You know, Kish. I can go through so many people that I've met. Both Kishans actually. I can talk about so many people, but it's like it's like basically what I'm trying to say is I feel like I can't grow my platform right without Twitter and using social media. But the thing is, that's the reason I don't want to do the content, because it's too fake and it's too toxic on social media. In the ideal world, I will just upload on YouTube and not worry about putting things on Twitter and all those things, because I don't want to use Twitter anymore, which is the honest truth. Because like, for example, let's just say I say, oh, I don't agree with Oliver Social. I'll just get abused from like 3, 4. I'm not that big in it, so I don't get that much abuse. Don't get twisted. I'm not thinking of anybody that people care about what I say, but it's just negative, and I'm not a negative person. And to be in that for so long, like I've been doing this for a long time. Like I started taking it serious since June last year, but I've actually had this account for 4 years, believe it or not, and I've been on this like up and down, up and down, up and down for a long time on this for reasons like this. Like I don't like the negativity. I don't like it. I feel like it's very taxing on your soul and your energy. And to be honest, it's a hobby for me. Like, you know, it's the people that in the comments, I can see your comments. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Obviously, I'm reading them. I do appreciate, man. But it's just a hobby. Like I'm a nobody, man. I'm not a big time guy. I'm not trying to claim to be anything I'm not. And it's a community, and I like that about, you know, the people that come in. I love the community. You know, everyone that comes into the chat, it's positive vibe. And even if it's like you don't agree with what I'm saying, everyone's respectful. But on Twitter, it's killing me. Like it really is. Like I can't basically grow this channel any more than it is without having somewhat of a Twitter sort of following or whatnot. And honestly, I think the Twitter part of it is killing me, because it's it's just so dead. You know, obviously you guys will know Daniel. Obviously he's huge on Twitter in particular, and I know we speak on a personal. You know, we've spoken on numerous occasions, and he said Twitter isn't fun anymore. It's exactly that, man. It's like I don't know who to trust basically on Twitter. Like I don't know if people are saying like nice things to me because they genuinely mean it, or if they're saying it because they want to look good, or like it's just stuff like that. And I just don't want to like stop meaning. Like I support people because it's free to support someone. Like, you know, I'm not gonna just say, oh, let me retweet this guy's content because like he might retweet mine or it'll benefit me. Like I just don't care for that shit. Like you support people because none of us are getting paid. You know, some people are trying to make something of it. I'm gonna be honest, like I want to get into media. Obviously, you guys don't know this about me, but you know, I was this close to my dream job at BBC, like BBC Sport, Salford, you know, Media City. I was this close to my dream job, like so close. Basically working on podcasts full time for the BBC. Like I was so close. I was at the last stage of the interviews, and I didn't get it. And that was in November time, I think, October, November time, roughly then. And I didn't get it. So like media on this podcast is a hobby for me, but it's a passion as well. Like obviously, I wanted to progress, you know, into a potential career. But in saying that, like I don't want to come across like disingenuine or like somebody that I'm not. Like, do you know what I mean? Like I just feel like there's too much of that on social media, and I think you've got to stay true to yourself first and foremost. Samps as well. Obviously, I'm assuming you'll probably watch this later, bro. Like, I gotta give a massive shout out to him as well. Like, you know, as I said with Jerry and Kojo, I barely knew Samps. But this guy, man, like I barely knew the guy. Like, I know he does great work and stuff on Views official TV and whatnot. And the guy just DMs me out of the blue. Now we've barely spoken to each other. Man just gave me some great advice, man. Like, and people like that, man, I'm grateful for you people, man, because it's because of you lot that I'm sat here today, you know, continuing the content, because like there are genuine people there, and I know that, you know, like I'm a glass half full kind of person, not a half empty in it. So you got to look at the positives, and the positives are I met some amazing people through this platform. Therefore, we'll continue to do it. Although, like yesterday, I was like, or whatever day it was, I tweeted that out. Like I'm done. Like every time, like you got to bear in mind, I haven't got my notification on Twitter, so I come on Twitter for like 2-3 days. They can check. I barely tweeted apart from slagging Chelsea up today, but prior to that, it's really coming off. But I just go on Twitter and it's like toxic, negative. And I'm like, raw, like, but I can't do this shit, man. Like, God, come on, this app, man. This app is just killing me. But like, shout out to all the real ones, man. Like, I appreciate you guys supporting me. Even if there's 25, 10, 15, whatever, how many it is, I really couldn't care less. Like, I know you guys are genuine, and I appreciate that. Like, I genuinely really do, man. It's a passion, it's a hobby for me, and I will obviously continue to do it for you guys, for the community that we have got. Like, people like Big Ron, for example. I know James isn't here. You know, you guys are always coming in, tuning into my videos. You guys are always talking to each other in the chat and just stuff like that, man. It just makes me happy, man. It really does. Like, honest to God, like, just to see you guys like interacting with each other, that's what we want. It's a community, you know. If it's small or not, it is what it is. Footy with Fidel, got your back. I love my brother. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. That's when I'm hey Big Sam and the boys at Best I'm trying to cheer you. You love to see it, right? Okay. Anyways, I just want to get that off my chest because I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be this energetic person because I'm not feeling it, to be quite frankly honest with you guys, and I'm sure you guys are probably able to tell anyways by my lackluster intro. Anyways. I've said what I've got to say. We have got a podcast on Wednesday, by the way. Myself, Hader, Joe. I think Joe's coming on. Obviously, Joe is affiliated with Hader's channel. If you don't know Joe, top guy. Us three and potentially my best mate Kish, who's on the Round Farm podcast on Monday. We're going to be doing a panel show, talk about men's mental health, basically just having it out, just having a conversation with the people, and just continue the conversation, man, because that's what it's about. Like, we haven't got a great following, but you know, even if I can help one person, two people get through difficult times, then by all means, that's what we will do. So make sure you do join us on Wednesday for that. On Monday, of course, not tomorrow, the day after, we have got the Ralph podcast, as I've already said. No watching on tomorrow, but I will have a match reaction. Anyways, we love you, Usmaan. Try and support all our brothers out there. Thank you, Ron, man. I appreciate you. Anyways, let's get into this. Manchester United beat Brighton. Let me know your thoughts on the team news. I believe Martial is out. Cavani should be fit. I've not heard much of him not being fit, so I'm just under the impression that Cavani's fit. I've also got the Brighton team news up. Potter, let's have a Potter. Graham Potter is happy with some of his injury doubts. But before we go into Brighton's team news, let's talk about Manchester United. Like I said, Martial, it seems that he's going to be a doubt. Greenwood and Rashford are back, which are a huge boost for us. You know, this game against Brighton early on the season, Lord have mercy, how we won this game. Of course, it was the game where Maguire got the penalty after the final whistle, so it was an absolute madness. Ron just said, don't worry about Brighton. Definitely. Too many people need stimulation. That's the thing. It must be tough for some in a pandemic, but even without a pandemic, there are just sociopaths who want attention and need drama. Look, obviously, that's in every walk of life, and I'm not going to sit here and say it's just within, you know, this sort of area of work, so to speak. That's everywhere you go in life. Really. There's always people that want attention and seek drama, but obviously, I'm not about that life in it. But anyways, let's talk about Man United's lineup. Look, first and foremost, you know, I'm not going to disrespect Brighton too much. They do play fairly good football, and I'm a fan of Graham Potter, the way he sets his team up. However, I do think that's going to play into our hands. Absolutely. You know, any team that comes to play football against us, I know it's at Old Trafford, but it's just a benefit to us, really. We kind of struggle against teams that tend to sit back, you know, that we have to break down. And I don't really expect Graham Potter to do that. You know, his lineups of late have been, you know, fairly well balanced team, I must admit. You know, got a couple of decent players in there. Can't knock it, but for me personally, we should really be able to beat them if they go toe to toe again. So speaking on our behalf, the way we should approach this. Now, for me personally, you know, I said this on the other day on the other one of the podcasts. I don't want to say. Might have been on Tuesday. Like, the way, my biggest criticism of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is in these games, you know, we should be bossing the games. We should be controlling the game. We should be setting the tempo. We should be setting the ascendancy. We're at home as well. I know there's no fans, but still, for me, it's Old Trafford. And, you know, at the end of the day, we got to be the team that takes it to them, not the opposition, doing that to us and us sitting on the counter attack. I just think that's not acceptable. At Man United, you know, the same thing I criticised Jose was, you know, the lack of cojones, so to speak, you know, in terms of risk taking. And it's the same with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You know, he's proved to us he can play an attacking brand of football, but for whatever reason, he's really started to bottle it, really, in terms of the manner which he approaches his game. He's been very pragmatic, very negative. You know, a lot of times he plays a 4-2-3-1, which isn't really an issue, but it's more the approach. You know, he doesn't allow the second central defensive midfielder or centre mid, so to speak, who is sat in the double pivot, to push on and join the attack. So you basically have a back four with two people sat in front of it and just that's it, no movement in front of them. You need one of them two people to join the attack, which is why Paul Pogba is so pivotal. As always, Pogba's agent, Mino Raiola, has been running his mouth in the international duties. I'm not going to go into too much detail with the whole situation because I sound like a broken record. I'm going to keep it short and sweet because, to be quite frankly honest with you, I don't actually care what the situation with Pogba's future is as it stands. I just want to get us in the top 4 and kick on for next season. Listen, just do what we got to do to win the game. Pogba has to start this game. I'm not hearing anything different. If Pogba is not starting this game, I'm not going to be happier. I personally think the team picks itself. I've got to be honest, lads. I think the team very much picks itself today. If he doesn't pick this team, that I'm going to suggest I'm going to be baffled. But obviously, what do I know? Let's have a look at some of you guys' comments. Obviously, the United ways to like and subscribe. Obviously, lads, make sure you do that. Look at Man City boss Leicester today. Leicester bossed us in the cup. Absolutely. I don't actually know what the Man City score is. Is it still 2-0? Of course, that is a huge benefit for us. Defend well, and we will be fine. Rashford and Bruno involved. FC, you love to see it. Jacob, but Matic was the major letdown in that game. Okay, fair enough. He's just like a Pogba. Fair enough. Right, okay. Yeah, so just quickly before going to Lionel, look. Chelsea lost 5-2 today, which is an absolute madness. The fixtures they've got coming up are ridiculously hard. They've got all the top teams realistically. They've got the likes of Liverpool, they've got Arsenal top team. Those two words don't go hand in hand, but you get the point. They've got Arsenal, they've got Liverpool, I believe they've got Man City as well. So them losing today is huge for us because if we beat Brighton, for me personally, I think that almost solidifies our top 4, given the fact that Leicester have lost today also. If we can beat Brighton tomorrow, look, don't get me wrong, nothing is ever guaranteed, especially with Man United. However, the gap between us and 4th place, i.e. Chelsea, would be 9 points, which is astronomical. And I'd really, really can't see us dropping 9 points and them gaining 9 points above us, if that makes sense. We will drop 9 points, but I don't think they'll gain that much. Yeah, so for me personally, if we win tomorrow's top 4, realistically should be ours. That being said, you got to go with your strongest teams. Usmaan was feeling down, was probably cheap up. Yeah, so bearing that all in mind, you got to go with the strongest team. So for me, it's fairly straightforward, to be honest with you. Let me know who you guys would play. I'm going to go with, obviously, this is probably one that not a lot many people will agree with, actually. I'm going to stick with Dean Henderson in there. I know that's not going to happen. Obviously, I'm not predicting what Ollie's going to do. But yeah, I'm going to stick with Dean Henderson in there. Again, I think I'll even play De Gea, but that is what it is. I just think Dean Henderson's earned his right to have a run in the team. I just don't think he's done anything particularly bad for him to get dropped. Of course, he had that one mistake against AC Milan, but look, end of the day, it doesn't matter. He rectified it in the second leg, made a couple of important saves, and even games after that, he's had a couple of decent moments on a personal level, and he just comes and collects the ball, which is a huge positive for us. So, Dean Henderson there. Wan-Bissaka right back, no brainer. Centre backs, Maguire, and I personally would want Bailly, but I don't think that's going to happen. But then again, it is my team. So I'm going to go with Maguire and Bailly. He's going to obviously pick Lindelof. Left back, best left back currently in the league on form. I was about to say something else. Luke Shaw, Roberto Carlos, a.k.a. the Brazilian Luke Shaw. Yeah, so obviously Luke Shaw left back, no brainer. Midfield is probably where some people might disagree with what I'm about to say. It's interesting. I'm just trying to tee up like who they've got. So I'm gonna go Fred. This might be completely contradictory of what I've been saying about him, but I'm gonna go Fred, Pogba, and Bruno in my midfield 3. The reason I go for Fred is because Trossard is a problem. Trossard plays in that little pocket hole. Lallana likes a pocket hole. They haven't really got anyone particularly quick. Obviously, they've got, let's have a look at that last line. I have got it in front of me. So they play front 4 of Lallana, Maupay, Welbeck, and Trossard. I think Trossard's probably going to be in the hole, I would imagine. Trossard's obviously a problem, don't get me wrong. So he's going to be an issue for us. But if they go for a similar lineup as they did against the last game against Newcastle, I think Fred will be able to, we should be able to deal with that, to be quite frank with you. Like I said, we need to control the game. We are at home. We need to start worrying about what the opposition possess, especially if it's a team like Brighton that we're far superior then. You know what I mean? Like, end of the day, this isn't an arrogance thing. This is about, I suppose I was about to say Man United, but in the sense that we're at home, we should be dominating the game. We've got to play with our chest out. We've got to play with cojones. I don't know why we're so pragmatic, and he's going to play McFred, and it's going to piss me off if I see Paul Pogba pushed onto one of the wings over McFred in the middle of the park. You don't need to play McFred against Brighton. This is not acceptable. Look, end of the day, they play good football, but we should be able to play them off the park with the midfield. That said, with Pogba, Bruno and Fred. Fred's job, win the ball back and pass it to Pogba. He doesn't need to dictate the play. Just get the ball and pass it quickly, because he can't play. You can't play football, so just keep it simple, brother. Big Rob, we need McFred in this game. Any other combo will be overrun in midfield. I don't agree with that. I don't think Pogba, Fred, and Bruno should get overrun by this Brighton team, to be quite frank honest with you. Look, it's obviously passed to keep the ball well, but I don't know. I think we should just keep the ball and control the game. Honestly, I really do. I'm pinning them back. That's what I would personally do. So I would go for the midfield I've gone for. Up front, I think it kind of picks itself. Left wing, Rashford. Right wing, Greenwood. And then up top, Cavani. I think it's an absolute no-brainer, really. There's not really anyone else to put up there. In terms of the opposition, I'm just going on the basis of what they did last week. There's not really any sort of news to give you regarding injuries, apart from Connolly's back. He's a bit for danger man, potentially off the bench on the left wing. He's got a bit about him in terms of blistering pace. Of course, he would be on Wan-Bissaka's side, so I would be a bit more positive that we can deal with that situation. They won the last game 3-0. Trossard, Welbeck, and Maupay scoring. This is the lineup that went last game, so this is what I'm assuming they'll do again. Sanchez in there, Veltman, White, Dunk, and Modder. Or is that proper? I don't know. I think it's Modder. I don't know to pronounce that. Midfielder, Basuma and Gross, both good players. Obviously, I'm a fan of Basuma's. Lallana on the right, Welbeck on the left, Maupay up top with Trossard in behind. Look, it's all set for Welbeck to come and score, and let's be real, innit? Welbeck to score. But for me, personally, listen to that team. Lallana, look, technically a great player, but no pace. Welbeck, has he really got the legs? I don't know. Maupay obviously hasn't got nothing in particular. They've got a couple of technically gifted players in there. I'm a fan of Basuma, as I already mentioned. The potential to he has got potential to win that midfield battle, but like I've already mentioned, Pogba and Bruno midfield against this Brighton midfield, we should be able to piss all over them, to be quite frankly honest with you. We should be able to control the game. We should be able to dictate the play. I want to see the fullbacks pushing further up the pitch. Wan-Bissaka needs to do more in the final third, as Jerry quite rightly always goes on about. But for me personally, it's just the approach. At the end of the day, if we win this game, for me, top four is almost guaranteed, cemented, so to speak. We need to go out with the intention of hurting them early. None of this lackadaisical starts, sloppy passes on the ball. We need to get the ball ticking from the very get-go and start passing the ball around. Play football, man. Be at home. For me personally, absolutely no excuse. Look, Martial's not fit, but that team that we've got available is more than capable of absolutely slapping them. We have had a bit of positive news during the week. Maguire scoring a very good goal for England, and Dan James also scoring. So we've got a couple players on a bit of positive vibes coming into this. Martial had a decent game, but it was against Borough FC. Pogba on a personal level has done okay. I've not really followed Scotland, but then again, it's irrelevant because he's in my team anyways. But yeah, overall, should be good enough for me. Keep the ball ticking, pass the ball quickly, move the ball through the thirds. I'm hoping for it to be an open game because it'll play into our hands. We need to play the ball through the lines quickly, and for that, Fred, pass the ball to Pogba, let him do the thing. So get his score predictions in as we wrap up the video. Right, what do I think? For me personally, I'm just going to quickly read your comments out, just give you guys an opportunity to get your score predictions in. Right. I see that everyone's just talking to himself. All right, the United way. Hendo, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw, Fred, Donny, Pogba, Bruno, Greenwood, Rashford. Okay, fair enough. Going for a diamond. Interesting. Is Lindelof's back okay? To be fair, I've not heard many reports, so I'm assuming he's fine. We need McFred. I've already read that one. I mean, Pogba isn't a possession-based football because he hasn't got the build and mentality for it. He believes in his ability to produce magic, so he tries it more than simple. Fair enough. I don't personally agree with that. I think Pogba's the perfect player to have if you want to control the game, because he's the guy that has the ability to just dictate play. I'm not worried. I feel Brian of a bit of character in some games, no real charisma. And to be honest, Brighton have been suffering in front of goals. So in that sense, I feel like we should be able to beat this team quite comfortably. Jacob saying 3-1. United say 4-0. Big Ron saying 2-1. And I'm going to say 3-1 to Manchester United, which would almost guarantee us top 4. Like I said, mathematically would put us 9 points above Chelsea, if I'm not mistaken. And for me personally, there's no way we should be dropping 9 points with like 8 to 9 games after the season. Look, that has been your preview. It's been your boy, Usmaan. I just want to say thank you to everyone who's watched this, even if you watch this on repeat. If you do watch a repeat, make sure you get your score predictions down in the comments. As always, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Like I said, I'm not going to be doing a watch along. I don't know about the match reaction as well, because obviously I've got the commitments. But that aside, stay tuned, because we will definitely be back on Monday if I'm not back tomorrow with some content at 7 o'clock, the Real Fan Podcast. It should be set to be a banger. If Man United win this, I'm telling you now that Real Fan Podcast is going to be popping, because flipping Daniel, obviously Chelsea fans going to get smart. But listen, thank you everyone for sharing love. As always, I'll see you guys soon. If not tomorrow, like I said, Monday. It's been your boy, Usmaan, signing out. Get your score prediction down below. Drop a like, subscribe if you are new.